Packin Party People? Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Godchild, first of his name, and this is the What's Packin Sports Show, where the only opinion that matters is mine. Okay, and today's show we're gonna be talking about the Green Bay Packers winning 30-28 over the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara, and what was a thrilling back and forth affair that started out like it was going to be a blowout, but it turned out to be a really special game. The first thing is always who? The 5 W's. All right, just in case you don't know, after every game, let me slow it. Let me step back a little bit, rewind. Okay. After every game, I like to do the 5 W's, okay? Who, what, when, where, and why. All right? Breaking down, giving my analysis on different aspects of the game. The first one is who. Who stood out? And for me, I try to pick offense and defense and spread around the love to everybody so everybody can get a piece of the positivity pie. But I'm going to have to go on defense first. Devondre Campbell and Kenny Clark. And these two guys were, to me, showing up like almost more than anybody on the stat sheet, with an honorable mention going to Preston Smith, who had a sack and some pressures, and he was really dominant in the running game. So you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead on and throw Preston in there too. These three guys on the front seven really showed up and really, to me, made the difference in the game. So round of applause to those three gentlemen in the way that they played and impacted the game. Devondre Campbell especially just flying on over. He seems to be a godsend at the inside linebacker position. And I'm just grateful that we finally kind of have somebody in there that can make all the plays that I feel like an impact inside linebacker should make. Now, on offense, we got the second-year man, Josh Neisman, who had a task last night guarding one of the Bosa brothers, who collectively are like half of the most dominant defensive linemen in the NFL, and just singularly they can wreck a game. I don't think he even had a sack, and I don't think he had a lot of hits on Rodgers. So Neisman kept this dude in check, and this front seven is ferocious. Okay, they weren't missing anybody on that front seven, not to my knowledge. So they had a full complement of their best guys in the Packers, missing their two best guys in Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari, was able to plug in two rookies, a second-year dude, and some veteran journeyman type guys, and made it work. What was my biggest takeaway? I already kind of said one of them, and that was the offensive line. And this coach, Coach Stinovich, man, I mean, what he's been able to do the last couple of years has just been wonders. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. And it's like, I don't know how many offensive line coaches go from being offensive line coaches to offensive coordinators to head coaches, but I mean, what he's been able to do with this Packers offensive line is just amazing to me, and I feel like he's maybe like underrated. I guess I don't know, but like I don't hear enough people talking about what he's doing in Green Bay. The improved run game was something that jumped out to me immediately and was a major takeaway. I had to look up the stats. They only gave up 60 yards rushing in the whole game, and this 49ers offense is like a machine when it comes to running the ball. It's like they can almost plug in anybody and get 100 yards rushing. So the fact that the Packers were able to hold them to 60 yards rushing, when you've seen what they've been able to do to this team, the Packers defense, run defense over the years, I mean, they got a lot of production from the big uglies up front, led by Kenny Clark, but he had some great help from Lancaster, and Slayton was in on a couple plays. I mean, Smith, like I said, did his thing. To me, honestly, I think Preston Smith had one of his best games against the run that I remember seeing in the past 3 years. I want to say Stokes, to me, one of the takeaways out from this game is like he looks like he belongs. Yeah, he's going to make some mistakes. He's a rookie. He's really raw, and he has a lot of upside, and he needs to be taught the game. But he's got the speed, he's got the instincts, and he's got the skills. And I just think this dude is going to be a beautiful fit in this defense once he really gets his feet all the way wet. And the last takeaway was the Packers seemed to have whatever it was they were missing that Rodgers referenced last week, and even referenced it again this week in the press conference after the game. I'm used to having the camera right here, so I'm looking over here, but I moved it over here now. Rodgers said that was what he was looking for, that energy. And it was very evident to me the way they fought back, because I feel like in years prior, when the 49ers were able to get that like 14-point swing going into the half and coming out the half, I feel like in the years prior, last year before, on the road in this hostile environment against this team, against the great Shanahan, like I feel like this team would have folded, but they didn't this time. And I mean, I think that says a lot about Rodgers' leadership, and LaFleur, and just really these players. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey man, let's not get embarrassed again. The next thing is win. Okay, as in when was the turning point? And I think there were a couple of turning points in this game. The Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers, jumped out to a 17-point lead. I mean, they were putting it on them. Defense, offense, everything was clicking up until with about 5 seconds or 2 or 3 seconds left in the half. And Shanahan decides to trot Trey Lance out there because they weren't able to do anything. They got all the way down into the third and goal or whatever it was. And I mean, he goes out there and the motherfucker just like literally runs it in off the left side. The only person out there was Amos, and he kind of got trucked. So I don't know what that was about. I mean, that was terrible, but that was the beginning of the fight right there. I mean, it looked like it was about to be a slaughter. And it's like that meme where the old guy is like getting robbed and he's like, call an ambulance, but not for you, not for me. And he pulls out the gun. It's like, that's what the San Francisco 49ers did. They were like, hold up, not so fast, bro. You're not going to just come in here to Santa Clara and just pimp slap us around on national television. Oh, no. So they got them 14 points back, and just like that, I had that feeling in my chest like, here we go again. Here we go again. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong, okay? And the second turning point, which I think was when they didn't score at all in the third quarter, but the start of the fourth quarter, Rodgers is able to sustain the drive. He hits MVS for the touchdown to extend it back to a 10-point lead. But then the Niners come back, they score. And then Green Bay gets the ball in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes left. And I'm like, yo, you got to kind of go into your 4-minute offense right here. And what did they do? They passed. Then they passed. And they passed again, not running the ball at all. And gave it right back to the Niners. But the Packers defense stepped up and made a play when it kind of moved. And it all started out with Preston Smith. That Amos play, man, it ended up, he got the sack, but then they called it a trip. So, man, that kind of was like took the win out the sails. But then the very two plays later, my man KC Masterpiece Clark is able to get some pressure up the middle, gets right into the face of the quarterback. And as soon as he kind of like goes to kind of throw it, he gets turned around and it's a backwards pass. Devondre Campbell jumps on it, and that swings things back into the Packers' direction. They score. Well, they get a field goal. Which is like, they kind of that made it a little bittersweet. But hey, a field goal is better than nothing. All right. And then really from there, I mean, we know what happened. They go up, the Niners go to score again. Packers get the ball back, 37 seconds. The rest is history. But those to me were like the two to three like major swinging points of the game that led to a lot of the hectic craziness that we experienced last night on that roller coaster ride, man. So now it's time for us to break down this performance. And where would I place this on a scale of 1 to 10? No sevens allowed. I'm going to give this an 8.2. They started out hot. They allowed the momentum to get away from them, but they battled back. They stayed focused, and they got the job done. Rodgers got it done when it counted, and Crosby sent them motherfuckers. Well, he ain't sent them packing, but you know what I'm saying? He sent them back home to their wives and their children and whoever else with a big old fat L on their head like Mario's brother, okay? Ultimately, the last thing is why the Packers won the game, and I'm going to say this, okay? This is how we're going to break it down. LaFleur had a great game plan. He stuck to the run, even though at times he kind of got away from it, but he went back to it just in the nick of time before things got a little too carried away. Okay? Barry isn't as bad as we thought he was after the first 2 weeks. They made a lot of adjustments from then to now, and what I saw from the running game and how he was able to implement things and get pressure, dialing up with 5-man fronts and 4-man fronts, mixing it up. I was really impressed with what Barry did, and how the run game improved. And then lastly, I'm gonna just say, because Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are just a dynamic duo, and Rodgers is a bad man, and Davante Adams is top 2, not 2. So that's really what it comes down to: the game plan, the execution. And the defense really stepped up, man. The defense really stepped up. Even with the game plan, Matt LaFleur, he got the ball out of Rodgers' hand very quickly. He knew that pass rush was going to be something a daunting challenge. He said, look, we're going to run the ball up the middle, establish the run, and get the ball out of my quarterback's hands fast, okay, until we get comfortable, until we get them on their toes. So those are the 5 things, man. Who, what, when, where, and why the Green Bay Packers beat the 49ers in a thrilling Sunday night game classic, really, you could say, definitely for this season. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Who are your standouts? What were your biggest takeaways? How would you break the game down, and where would you put it on a scale of 1 to 10? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you do, just thumb something giggity. Okay? Until the next show, you know what it is. Go Pack Go. And remember, the Bears and the Lions and the Vikings still suck.